Will Gadara, Unreasonable Hospitality. Fantastic book about a guy who ran 11 Madison Park. He's a major sort of food innovator in all kinds of ways. He's number 50 restaurant in the world in the San Pellegrino Restaurant Awards. He wants to get to number 1. It's not going to be easy. But one of the things he did was what I call reverse benchmarking. He took his team to the number 1 restaurant in the world, and they started doing what we all do, which is, how are we doing compared to them? They do this really well, let's copy it, etc. And at the end of the whole experience, Gadara just goes to his team, I'm not interested in any of that stuff. They're already doing that well. If we merely copy them, no one will notice. What I want to know, given that you've just been to the best restaurant in the world, according to San Pellegrino, is what was a bit disappointing, because we're going to double down on that. The approach was they finally came up with 2 things that were a bit disappointing, which was, one, the coffee was nothing special. And they just said it was fine. The coffee wasn't disgusting. It was just there was nothing particularly interesting about it. And the beer drinkers were treated a bit like second-class citizens compared to the wine drinkers, who are given all manner of bullshit with a, sommelier and led a conversation about the terroir. So he goes back to his own restaurant and he appoints one of his guys who's a coffee obsessive, the coffee sommelier, and another guy, I think, from the kitchens, who is obsessed with American craft beers, or all craft beers. He makes him the beer sommelier. Now, imagine you're in this restaurant. Now, most of the people in the restaurant aren't going to ask for beer, but 10 or 20% of them will. Okay. And they're expecting, we got Sam Adams on draft, or we've got this in bottles. And instead, they get a beer menu from the beer sommelier with suggested beer pairings. The citrus IPA goes really, really well with the cod, or whatever it might be. Now, those people, you've blown their minds. Okay. It's not a question of, hey, that was a bit better than I expected. So this reverse benchmarking is find out something that your competitors have completely overlooked, do it really, really well, and then actually turn it into a feature.